All right, I just got your attention. Isn't that great? So I'm gonna respect it. I'm not gonna waste your time. And I'm gonna start with a little story. So I reached the 10K per month milestone in 50 days. And then the 20K milestone after 3 months. And the truth is, it was a disaster. As you can see here, this is me trying to take a nap. I was exhausted and tired. Now, I want to make sure that before I tell the full story, that I'm talking to the right person. So, if you're running an agency or you're a freelancer and you're tired of relying on your hard work to attract new clients and you want your sales to depend on a compounding asset that works for you 24/7, just like real estate. Or if you just realize that you're in a new rat race and you're just doing it for the money and you don't feel like you're going to be the greatest at what you do if you stay stuck in this situation, then I guarantee that this training here that you're going to watch is going to get you out of this, okay? Because unlike all the gurus who tell you all about their systems to guarantee 50 booked calls per week, which is insane, and their bullshit pipeline value of 200K, that's not the thing I'm interested in giving you. All right, I'm going to talk about that one thing that nobody talks about. Not even Iman, not Andrew Tate, not any other make money online guru, okay? Because that thing is hard, so they don't want to talk about this. I'm gonna present you the last thing you'll ever need to build to stop dealing with painful client acquisition and with an agency that makes you depressed, even if you already do 5, 10, 20K per month. Because that's not the end goal. That's baby money here, okay? Now, I know we all have ADHD, so we have a hard time focusing on something that lasts more than 5 minutes, but I won't sacrifice depth and clarity. I'm going to take the time to explain this well. So if you have an issue following through this training, then forget about building a 50K, 100K per month agency, all right? So to go back to my little story, I reached the 10K mark and then the 20K, as I showed you. The money was good. It made me go from a broke student who only made money as a slave in the army or as a firefighter just before my studies. So it made me go from that to renting big villas and throwing parties with a lot of entrepreneurs and great people overall. So that was in Bali last winter. We rented this big house, 3-story villa, and we just throw a white night party. I met some great people. This was also in Bali. It was one of the biggest castles in Bali. Beautiful. Look at the pool. There's even a boat in the pool. That's crazy. So yeah, this all looks cool, right? Well, unlike all the other gurus out there, I'm going to be real with you. You know me on my YouTube. I'm real. With all of these things, it was a nightmare. Okay? So the 20K per month plus this, it was a nightmare. Even though the money was good, I was tired and exhausted. I had all the systems to reach out to hundreds of prospects every day, book calls, close them. But I learned something very important. It's not only about how much you make, it's about how you make it. Okay? Even though I could delegate to avoid the painful calls and chaos I was going through, I didn't want to. I didn't want my company to build up on the foundation of avoiding the work. And here's why I felt that way. I wasn't 100% invested in what I delivered to my clients. I just did it for the money. Which means that my peak of dopamine happened when I received the money, not when I could start working to help my clients. And because of that, I was certainly not the best at what I did. I had a hard time sitting in front of my computer for hours, managing my team. I didn't have any motivation to move forward. The only thing motivating me is that I needed to sustain my lifestyle. And it was just bad luck for those clients that had me. That's crazy. Well, quick disclaimer. They had good results with me, okay? They always had a positive ROI with me because that's one of my values. I never want to let someone down. But I'm talking about delivering excellent work here because we're all about excellence. Because that's excellence is what's going to bring you to 50, 100K, a million a year, even more, okay? So if you want all the tactics and strategies I've used to achieve those results, I'm going to give them to you. Okay? I know about that. But that's not what I'm here for. That's not the main thing. I want to talk about finding your best way of achieving those results without the PTSD, without the trauma. I want you to sustain doing 20K, 50K, even 100K per month for decades, not just for a few months and then just crash down. And that requires something that is hidden right in your past, in your life experience. And to illustrate this, I'm going to tell you another story. And this is the story of how I uncovered 81K hiding in my YouTube subscriptions in less than a week. So, at some point in my entrepreneurial journey, I was watching some red pill content, those kind of stuff. And I decided to reach out to one of the biggest guys in that space. He was a coach and had more than 600K subs on YouTube. So I sent him a loom, showing him my work, the things I was interested in, and a little bit of my life background to show why I care. And so he responded positively because I was resonating with what he was doing. And he needed my traffic generation services. All right? And so he just became a 26K client, even more than that. That's an old screenshot here. And this could easily be you with your favorite YouTubers, influencers, or people on Instagram, or even people you've interacted with that don't have a lot of followers yet. Then the reputation of that previous client got me another red pill influencer that ended up being a 7.5K client. Okay? And he just went on like this. Another example, not so that you can see it's not only coming from YouTube. I bought a $1,500 course from a genius marketer who taught me a lot about copywriting and direct response. Okay? So I bought his course a long time ago. And this got me an easier access to him. And I knew he needed someone to edit his long form and short form videos. So I contacted him. And because I had this advantage of being his client, I had something that nobody could have, even with a killer ad. And so I could directly reach out to him, and I had built reciprocity. So he became a 15K client with a retainer of 2.5K to 4.8K. As you can see, this was the conversation on Telegram. He paid me through crypto, but I didn't find the transaction for the 4.8K. But yeah, that's what we did, okay? And then I just kept going and followed my unfair advantage. I contacted the biggest influencer that I've followed for years in the fitness space because I like fitness, and my first emails could not be replicated by other people. I had a true edge because I could talk with subtle references that a random marketer couldn't even think of. And this got me an 8.5K client, which then led to another fitness influencer that I really liked and was working with the first one. More than 12K with this one, so that's 9.9 plus 2,000 euros here. And the momentum kept me going. More than 11K with the new client in the fitness fighting niche. In short, since I started digging into my own edge, my own interest, it all became much easier. Into my past, by the way. So not only did I share my work, but I also shared a part of my identity that resonated with those prospects. I was seen as a short-form content expert in their niche, and I gave genuine value through the videos I made. And this is not only for short-form content, it could be for running ads, graphic design, appointment setting, whatever. Okay? Now you might think, but this doesn't apply to my situation. I'm different. I have another service, blah, blah, blah. I'm not good on camera. The fact that you're different is exactly why this applies to you. You need to use your difference and document it in a way that makes you relatable to your personal niche, to the intersection of genuine interest that you have, plus your agency that can help people of that niche, of that personal niche of yours. Because you're a mix of a lot of different niches. You're not just a guy interested by fitness or fighting. There's a lot of different things in that, okay? And if you're like this, there's a lot of other people on earth that are like you. And you don't need to work with 7 billion people. You just need like 10 clients a month. That's already you can already get some great results with that. Now that's all just a part of the equation. You will need other pieces of the puzzle to make it work and make it work fast. So just stay here and you'll know how to do this, okay? By the way, this is how I help my clients achieve outstanding results by focusing on their personal niche. We have Art, who went from struggling to find clients, wasting hours in sales calls and trying to find the best unsaturated niche like all the other agency owners, to having the best VC startup podcast wanting to work with him. He now owns a $25K per month podcast production agency and works with the best podcast in the startup space, and even signed Reid Hoffman, which is the co-founder of LinkedIn. He was part of the PayPal mafia with Elon Musk, Peter Thiel. So yeah, it's a big guy. And yeah, you can see the results here. And the thing is, Art was always into the startup space. He had a lot of knowledge into this space. And so he used his past, his interest, to reach out to them. And because there was a genuine connection, then they could work together. Much easier than any other marketer who will just sell his services, no matter what niche or what type of clients or avatar, okay? We've got Leo, who went from struggling to make ends meet to 23K while traveling in Bali by, again, connecting his own unfair advantage with his personal niche, with the intersections of the things he likes and the other people that could be similar to him. We've got Abdur, who went from being lost and providing only short-form editing to creating an offer with clarity around how to sell it, how to deliver it, and what mechanisms he needed to use. You can see his message here. And we've got also one of our clients who we've helped generate new traffic with shorts at 75K subscribers and generate more than 700K yearly, okay? All through creating content around his edge and packaging it in a way that would attract his ideal clients. Okay. Another one who we've helped turn his experience into short form content that attracted new clients in his pipeline. It was all about building his personal brand bigger and bigger. So we've been doing this for a lot of time now. And we've got also wins from the community. Okay. You can see them here. Just pause it if you want to read. I'm not going to read through all of them. And all of that made my travels way more enjoyable than the others that I just showed you, okay? This was back in Spain, Marbella, in the $14 million villa. Now, before you tell yourself that you don't want to invest in your personal brand because you don't want to show your face, okay? First of all, you have to understand that people think about themselves morning, noon, and night. They don't care about you. They care about what you have to offer to them. Even if you're shy and you post cringy content, they won't care. They'll forget about it. Don't worry, okay? There's a ton of other TikToks that will distract them in a second. Then you won't become famous by accident. It's not an accident. People fight very hard to do this. And you don't want to be well known anyway. You'd rather be known well. There are guys I met in Marbella, so here, and they made between 80K and 500K per month by having between 1K and 10K followers, cross platforms. Just like Justin, so I met him in Marbella. This is his Instagram, so 3.7K followers. His YouTube, 5K subscribers, and even when I met him, it was less than that. And he made €1 million with a funnel. That's us, that's him, I'm here. And yeah, this guy did great. He didn't need to have millions of followers. So don't think that you need everyone to pay attention to your thing. You just need to have your personal niche with people similar to you who need your thing, your skills, okay? You don't need to become the new Jake Paul. Also, there's a lot of ways to showcase your interest and build your personal niche without showing your face, even though it helps to do it. There's less editing to do and it feels more authentic. And lastly, people buy from people. The new world is the internet. If you were an entrepreneur in the 60s, you wouldn't mind being known to be the best agency in town. Well, think of that town as your niche on the internet. It's the same thing. So if you're spending your attention on this video, which by the way, I'm very grateful for, it's because you're either a freelancer or an agency owner and you want to scale to 50K to 100K per month without falling back into a new matrix, which is much more painful than a 9 to 5. At least 9 to 5, you can have some fun after work, blah, blah, blah. Or you're tired of relying on your hard work to attract new clients and you want your sales to just work 24/7 for you, okay? And maybe you also thought about starting your personal brand and make content back in September. But here you are now at the same position you were in September. And the funny thing is, you might even be a social media marketing agency, but you don't have your social media dialed in. How ironic is this, right? Social media experts who don't have a following. Doesn't make sense. So simply put, you have a hard time getting your prospects to hop on a call with you, and at the same time, you don't want to book 50 appointments per week. Because the truth is, every meeting you do drains your energy. It's painful as hell, and you get out of each of your calls exhausted, just like the picture I showed you right in the beginning. And you get replies like that. Like, hey bro, thanks for that, I would love to sign up. Unfortunately, I can't afford it, blah, blah, blah. After having spent 2 hours on a call with the prospect, after having sent 7 follow-up emails, that's not what you want. And, it's a tricky situation because your brain pushes you to book calls because you know that on paper, it is the right thing to do. But on the other hand, your emotions push you to do calls your emotions push you to not do calls because it's a dreadful experience. Your brain doesn't want to do that. And so because of this, you're wired to fail. And guys, let's be honest. There has never been a better time to do this, what I'm talking about, okay? People have never been so keen to buy from personal brands, from people they could relate online. There has never been so many users on the internet, on social media. Look at this. This is the Iman Gaji event in London when he sold his glasses. Why would people line up and wait for 3 hours to meet Iman at his glasses pop-up store? Personal branding. How do you think Alex Hormozi got 20,000 5-star reviews on his book? Not even mentioning it's a bestseller. Personal brand. Imagine being able to attract people automatically and not having to fight to ask for their attention, only to follow up with a painful battle to the sale. Imagine you don't have to do this anymore. Well, that's what I'm about to break down for you. The last asset you'll ever need to build. Forever. I promise. I'll walk you through all the systems that allows my clients and me to have sales assets running and compounding over time with the new currency that is attention. The goal of this short training is to give you a walkthrough of the model that helped me and my clients experience this transformation and get you to implement the system that builds the last asset you'll ever need, charge 5 to 10K per client and escape the price comparison with other competitors, and make cold outreach accessory or even unnecessary. Even if I will talk about this, outreach, conversion, etc. But I will talk about them in a way that you don't even really need them, because the infrastructure that we set up beforehand is going to make everything else much easier. If the new currency is attention, your personal brand is the bank. Let's get started with an example. Here's Belle Delphine, 21 years old. She made $12 million selling her bath water. She did it from the comfort of her apartment, didn't need to learn about copywriting, email marketing, sales, or anything hard really. She just created content, okay? You On the other hand, you sell services that actually solve real problems. So you should be making at least 10 times that amount, right? $120 million. And in fact, you're struggling to even make 10 to 20K per month. Or you do it, but it's quite painful. All right? So what's the difference between bathwater for $12 million, which is the price of a yacht, okay, and your services, which actually solve problems and are painful to maintain to 10 to 20K per month? It's personal branding again, okay? Hard sales just means bad branding. Good branding doesn't even require a sales team. Belle Delphine sold her bathwater. No one buys into your logo, fancy domain name, or cringy emails anymore. People buy from people, as I said before. They connect with individuals, not faceless agencies. Look at acquisition.com. People aren't loyal to acquisition.com. They're loyal to Alex Hormozi. He's the face of the brand. Same goes for Agency Navigator. It's Iman Gadji that people are drawn to. Without him, Agency Navigator would just be another agency course. Well, no matter what you sell, you're going to sell it to humans. Okay? Whether you go B2B, big corporations, entrepreneurs, a human is going to wire you the money in exchange for your services and product. The agency model just happens to be the way to make the most cash fast. It is the fastest way to solve people's problems. It's not income because there's very low margins and you need capital to test your product and marketing. It's not SaaS because the software is used when the problem is already solved to optimize productivity, okay? So let's say a freelance or an agency would make the problem go from 0 to 1. A software will make it from 1 to 100. And it's not a job because you're stuck in a contract and you have no freedom, okay? So if a freelancer is a problem solver and an agency is a leveraged problem solver that relies on a skilled team and technology, a personal branded agency is a leveraged problem solver that attracts its ideal clients on autopilot without wasting money on expensive client acquisition. Now here's the thing. How to build your personal branded agency and start attracting your dream clients without painful sales. You need to find your edge, your unfair advantage, or your genuine interest. Let me dive into this. You need to find those and share them through content. Content, short form, long form, are the building blocks of your personal branded agency. And the good news is that you won't need to go far to find it because it's already inside you. Okay? Follow your passion. I know it looks like bad advice, but hear me out. If you only follow your passion, you're probably going to be a broke artist. But if you only run your business, like everyone's, just for the money, nothing else, you'll just be a broke and boring entrepreneur. Or maybe you're going to make some money, but you're going to be depressed, just like I was. But if you align your edge, your personal interest, with your cash-generating activity, which is your agency, by sharing content about you, you suddenly become one of a kind. You create your own niche that has no competition, okay? Let's take an example here. Rogan talks about aliens, comedy, fighting, politics, biohacking. The Rock has WWE, movies, football, fitness, tequila. Alex Hormozi, he likes business, philosophy, fitness, comedy, utilitarianism. You don't pick your niche, you are the niche. What's yours? I think you got it, right? So, by building your personal brand on top of your agency or service-based business, you have a strong unfair advantage. Let me explain. You have to imagine every piece of content, short form, long form, whatever the platform, as a product, okay? And your products, as an agency, they solve painful problems. On the scale of problem solving, you rank much higher than personal brands that are entertainment based because these only solve for boredom and provide fun, which is cheap and easy to do. I can go out and film myself doing TikTok dances, okay? That's easier to do. And this is why you don't need more than 10K followers, or even 1K followers, to already being able to travel around the world and make 6 figures months and retire your dad. Now, why is this model, the personal branded agency, the last asset you will ever need to build for your business success? If you work hard enough on something, it will succeed. That's a universal law, okay? If the quality of your output is better than 99% of people, you will win, for sure. And in order to experience great success in any field, you need to be relentless, right? There's no way to experience success without being relentless. Even more now, because of the competition, it has gone completely insane, and so did the recession. So people are extremely picky of where they spend their hard-earned money. And so, as Danko says, obsession is your key to greatness. Once you find the thing you can't pull yourself away from, work to make it a sustainable part of your life. And that's what I mean by finding what you're relentless about. And so now, if we break down relentlessness so that we can better understand it and know how to find it, it is composed of quality times quantity times speed. You need to produce quality inputs because your inputs are equal to your outputs. You need to do a lot of it, and you need to do it fast. And this creates momentum and releases dopamine. It puts you in a flow state, which leads you to be relentless. And this is the only way out of mediocrity. So quality times quantity times speed equals momentum equals relentless. And here's what flow does to you. Flow's impact on both our physical and our mental abilities is considerable. On the physical side, strength, endurance, muscle reaction times all significantly increase, while our sense of pain, exertion, and exhaustion all significantly decrease. Yet the bigger impacts are cognitive. It's in the mind. It's in your head. So this is from The Art of Impossible. Great book. Should read it. And from this guy, Rian Doris, who you might have seen on YouTube. But how are you supposed to be great, fast, and for a long time when you work with people and create content you don't care about? Your brain plays against you when you try to do outreach, sell your services, manage your team, and talk with prospects. If you're not aligned with your brain, then you'll have a really hard time doing anything. So how to make it so you have a hard time stopping to do the work? The secret is to fall in love with the game. And to fall in love with the game, you have to know yourself. So let's dive into this. To know yourself, you need to look at your own data. There are different systems in the brain. The core of it is the limbic system, the primal brain. Okay? The limbic system creates emotions. Okay? The rational logic conscious mind is booted on top of the limbic system, the neocortex. If you take the limbic system out, you remove the emotions. You wouldn't dislike anything, but you wouldn't like anything either. The same system that makes you love something is the same system that makes you hate something. Remember that. The same system that makes you fulfilled is the same system that makes you depressed. The behavior of this system depends on the things you attach it to. And so the key to this is to find out what you love or what things your limbic system has developed an attachment to. This is the translation of what you love. So no matter how much logic or human effort we put in, the limbic system is going to be dominated. Okay? It's going to be dominant, sorry. So you're screwed up if you're doing the things that go against your limbic system. And this is why you procrastinate and you feel bad when working on things you don't care about, just because you were attracted by the money, which isn't the end goal. Now, you don't need to find a new thing, okay? What your limbic system is attached to has already been manifested in your life or in your past. So it might be already here in some part. What you need to do is to connect the dots and start exposing this to the world. It's only by adding these dots to the value you provide to the market with your agency that you'll be able to escape commodities and be compared to other agencies based on price. So, finding your edge is not a luxury anymore. It is a necessity to succeed. It's the only thing that will set you apart, okay? Because everyone wants to play the money game. So that means you're equal to anyone. You need to find the thing that will put you a part of this whole group, okay? Now, here's the thing. Not every business model or strategy and tactic is made for everyone. We tend to forget that we are all different, with different life paths, different strengths and weaknesses, and different stories as well. Yet we try to follow the exact same path to the exact same goals. Let's do some math. If 50K per month or 100K is a known constant, okay, it doesn't move. Just try to remind yourself from your math course. And your agency, your leverage problem solving tool, is a known constant as well. You know about it, you know the systems, everyone knows about that. Then we as entrepreneurs are yet to be known variables, okay? We're all different. So the agency is your vehicle to reach that goal. It's already defined, but you need to drive it, which makes variable times constant equals constant. And because we already know the constants, it goes X times agency equals 50K per month. You need to solve X to make sure you reach your goal. And that's the reason why not everyone succeeds with any business model, even though all the info is available on the internet. So if you really want to make it, you must align your edge with your agency by finding out what it is. So this is how Arth was able to work with his dream clients, because he was always involved in the startup space and he knew how to manage a team of editors that could produce the podcast that these guys would need. And so they connected through similar interests, and he had something that they didn't have, okay? Personal brands are the new wave that won't die out. This is from Danko, and he also has an agency, as you can see here, Keyframe Design, okay? And he's been able to grow this agency because he invested in his personal brand. He was talking about his own interest, and he provided something that his prospects would need because he was doing those cool edits. Then he just offered to do them for them, and he marketed them through his thoughts and through his own persona online. We've got also Ali Abdal, who just helps people grow their YouTube with an agency as well, okay? This is really a personal branded agency because it relies on the face of Ali Abdal. Now, these are extreme examples, okay? He has like a few millions followers and he has like 500,000. You don't need to reach that point because they're talking to everyone. He's helping anyone launch his YouTube channel. This is a big niche here, okay? It's not even a niche. You can be much more narrowed down with your own interest and work with people who are not everyone, okay? So no matter what you sell, growing your personal brand is your last stand. It is the only thing that you will never need to start again, because no matter what you do in life, it will follow you. Your audience will follow you for who you are and the value you provided to them in the course of your life, okay? And it is the best model to really evolve in any kind of business model you want. I'm not just talking about agency, okay? You can start as an agency or freelancer because, as I told you, is the fastest way to solve problems. But then you can move up to SaaS, build a SaaS that will automate the solution that you just solved for your personal niche. And then you can create a program that will help people like you, but in the past, achieve that goal. And then you can just build a community around your advice, the people you've helped, your SaaS. SaaS with communities are working extremely well. So that's something you can do, and do a membership, a recurring membership, and then even evolve into private equity, where you work with similar people as you connect with people, and you take shares in their companies. And remember, your network is your net worth. And this model is what allows you to have your tribe and, exit the struggle of convincing people to work with you, because you're going to talk to them passively on the internet with videos that are going to run 24/7 for you, okay? Now, a quick summary of all of that. We've seen why you have no choice but to be obsessed to experience success, okay? Relentlessness. And that comes from working towards your interest, which leads you to build your own monopoly. That's how Belle Delphine could sell her bathwater. That's how Danko and Ali Abdal can sell high-end services through their agencies. while still focusing on their personal brands. And it's also how one of our clients was able to work with dream clients and go from struggling to make 5K per month to more than 20K a month. Okay. Now, next part is about building your personal high-ticket monopoly. Okay. Now that you know more about yourself, or that you have the path to know more about yourself, you need to get going and use that to get your first results. You're going to use your perspectives to start attracting your ideal clients, but you need to make sure that you know what's the biggest value you have to offer to the world. I'm not talking about just your current agency or service. I want you to think outside the box and even higher than that, okay? And you need to think about how to attract them. And maybe you already have those two figured out, okay? So what do you have to offer to the world? If you had to think of the biggest value you could provide, what would it be and who would benefit the most from it? Why would you be legitimate to offer this solution? I'm going to give you a few examples. Let's take Mike Tyson. His biggest value is boxing, okay? Who can benefit the most from it? Boxers, and for example, Ngannou before his fight with Tyson Fury. And why is he legitimate to do this? Well, he's a former heavyweight champion and he has been very dominant. Elon Musk, biggest value, let's say reusable rockets, even though he can make 1,000 other things. Who can benefit from it? The NASA. And why is he legitimate? He's the founder of SpaceX and studied rocket science and physics. Let's take another example. The bakery in the corner of your street. Biggest value? Fresh bread. Who can benefit from it? The neighborhood. Why is it legitimate? Well, this bakery has been serving its customers for the past 10, 20, 30 years, maybe. So defining your biggest addition to the world helps improving and narrowing down your offer to your personal niche. It's only when you know who we can serve the best and how we can do it that we can follow up with the personal branded offer worksheet, which I'm going to present to you. This is an analysis we've done for one of our clients who was a WordPress coach. And so basically what you want to do when you have this figured out, you want to think of all the ways your clients can fail. And then for each scenario, you want to design a system that will prevent this exact failure scenario, okay? And then you think of the way of delivering it. Maybe it's a done for you system. You're going to actually deliver the service yourself. You're going to edit the videos yourself. You're going to get the creatives or whatever. Maybe it's consulting, which means you're going to give advice, directions through calls or through messages. Or maybe it's done with you, which means you're going to follow up the system with them, install them with them, and tell them how to do it, okay? So this is how you can think of your personal branded offer. You really want to design the thing that you can be the best to do and the people who will benefit from it, and then make sure that in every scenario, they will get a way to have results, okay? That's how you can really build your monopoly. And so this analysis stacks the anti-failure mechanisms that lead to a better offer, which then lead to higher pricing power. It helps us define content topics also that we can use for long form and short form content. These are all building blocks for your personal brand as well, because as I told you, your content, well, every piece of content is a product of your personal brand, and every product you have needs to solve a problem. And so by creating content about these anti-failure systems, then you can solve problems passively to your audience, okay? And so we've had this WordPress course creator was only selling courses for $500 or less. And by going through the personal branded offer, we were able to define a new offer that would be super attractive to his audience, define the scenarios in which his clients would fail to achieve the promise, then reverse engineer that to make sure we had maximum success rate, and then 4x his price and sell a new program for 2K using his previous work. Okay? And we also reanimated his dead Facebook group and pushed it to more than 900 members. Okay, this is great inbound prospects. He now uses his audience built via content and channel into a Facebook group to sell his new offer. Now, quick summary about this part. We've seen how you can go about using your interest to build a personal branded offer that is aligned with yourself, allowing you to charge high ticket in markets that are connected to you. This is what we've been able to achieve with one of our clients who was stuck because of his offer. And we got to 4x his profits by just improving his offer and narrowing it down to his audience and to what he was the best at. Okay. Now, third part, finding content market fit ASAP. Okay. This is the thing that will make your cold outreach, your painful cold outreach, accessory and even unnecessary over time. So now that you know how to build one of the essential elements of a business, the offer, because when you think about it, quick side note, a business all comes down to an offer and traffic or eyeballs seeing that offer. Okay. So yeah, as I said, you need the other half of it, which is eyeballs. And so today marks the day where you stop doing painful cold outreach. Okay, you can congratulate yourself because you're watching this, and after this day, it's all going to be much easier if you apply it, of course. So we don't want to just scrape random strangers and ask them if they'd be willing to hop on a quick call or watch a breakthrough video you made for them. This is a thing of the past. We will use cold outreach only to make the right people aware of the offer. And the offer is the content, as I talked about. So if a piece of content is a product that solves a problem, then your social media is your offer that's available 24/7. And this offer doesn't just sell your services, it sells yourself, your story, and your genuine interest. We want people to be aware of this and make sure we extract as much value from the impressions we get. And to do so, we need inbound, so content, mixed with outbound, which is outreach and ads. When we mix both approaches, we get faster awareness, outbound, with quality conversion, inbound. And this is why you want to start doing both. Quick anecdote here, back in 2019, was another agency. I leveraged content to build a nice Instagram page showcasing the agency and its members. I launched outbound campaigns to attract people and made sure that they saw our content and developed a relationship with us before we even talked over a call. And we had a nice office which we could leverage to create content and increase our authority. So just use what you have, okay? You don't need an office, by the way. Now I will talk about the minimum viable goodwill, which is the minimum amount of content you need to get started and build goodwill that you can apply right after this video. Because let's not stress about start and uploading one short a day on all platforms plus one long form video per week. That's a bit stressful. You want to start slow and good. So if you're lost, start by having what I call a minimum viable goodwill. You want to have a foundation of 3 long form content, just 3, okay? 1 video sales letter that shows how your service solves your market's problems, okay? And 2 case studies to show the results you've done or break down the results of a successful example. If you don't have results, just take another guy who's been successful and break down the whole process. Then you repurpose these long form videos into short form videos, okay? Just like this. These 3 becomes short form. And you essentially make shorter scripts based on the long scripts you've wrote for the long videos, okay? Once you have this foundation, you're making it easier to convert the people you outreach to when they come across your content. These are your sales assets. Most people don't understand this, but one of the biggest time and money waster is the lack of sales assets. Your service can be amazing, but can you pay your bills if no one knows about it? I don't think so. So if you're reading this and you don't have at least 10 pieces of content showing that what you're good at, your success stories, how you solve problems, and what others say about you, it'll be tough to scale your outreach, all right? Or at least tell about your story, okay? Your humble story. Let me just drink a little bit. Okay, so Your natural platform. This is very important to get the eyeballs. You need to find your natural way of making content, which are the building blocks of your personal brand. Everybody is going to sell you on their own methods. A YouTuber will push you to use YouTube as your only channel of acquisition. An Instagram influencer will push you to use Instagram, obviously. And the truth is, you're different. So you have to find the tool that is in harmony with your edge. If you're more into aesthetic visuals and photography, you'll be inclined to Instagram. If you're good at editing, you might do better on YouTube. If you're good at improvising or talking, podcast might be the best thing. If you're a good writer, X is the platform for that, okay? So what content should you produce on a regular basis? Rewind back to the biggest thing you have to offer to the world and make your content breadcrumbs of that. Use your genuine interest. Find a way to communicate your value by mixing it up with the intersections you found out between your watch or search history, the books you've read, and the movies you've loved. This will help you package the information that may look similar to your competitors, but with a better packaging, okay? People need to be reminded more often that they need to be instructed, okay? Everybody talks about the same things in the agency or business space. Create content, run ads, book calls. Here's my lucid chart system that shows you how to XYZ without ABC, and that's okay. However, you won't differentiate yourself by making the same lame looms, okay? You need to package the info with your own signature. And here are a few examples of famous influencers and how they started. Casey Neistat did vlogs and short movies he uploaded on YouTube. Iman Gaji started documenting his life on YouTube in a similar way. Jake Tran and James Johnny started doing Netflix-style video documentaries. Joe Rogan started with podcasts. Andrew Tate vlogged his life through Tate Confidential. Okay? And here's a personal anecdote. In 2020, I decided to invest in my personal brand by making YouTube videos about business books. I had a small community and it developed my video editing skills. I was just putting out what I was genuinely curious about, okay? And I was part of a Telegram community of a coach and YouTuber I was following for quite some time. He sent a message on his Telegram channel saying that he needed a new video editor. So I sent him an email and linked back to my channel. And he was immediately hooked and became a 11K client. Okay? We worked for a few weeks together. You can see here. And so if you don't know where to start, document the journey with humility. Because here's the thing. You're either really successful in some areas of your life and you can already put up content about that and give advice, or you haven't really accomplished anything that's aligned with your true edge. So you can start documenting it as a student on its way to mastery. Okay, people love both of those perspectives. People like to get great insights from an experienced person, just like Alex Morosi when he started creating content. He already had experience. And people like to follow a young challenger on its way to greatness and learn with him. Okay, both are good. At the end of the day, documenting the journey to build your personal brand is your only lifetime business. Okay? Because your name is the most important thing you can work on. Because it's the only thing that will stay with you till your death. Okay? It has maximum upside and very low downside. Because what's the worst that can happen? People will mock you maybe, but hate always comes from below, not from above. So once you have your offer set up, which means you have enough content that sells you, your story, your company, and your services, then you can start using outreach to guarantee impressions and not rely on the algorithm. Okay? And this is what we've used to get a lot of new clients in our pipeline and generate 11K in a week. But because unlike all marketers who have to hard sell their services in the emails, we've simply directed them towards our videos, which are easier to consume. than just reading some hard selling emails with no proofs, with no idea of who I'm talking to, okay? Now, to make it short and sweet, and to summarize it all, we've been through how I quickly went to 20K per month, and it was a disaster. How I switched to aligning my unfair advantage to my business and fight 81K without painful acquisition. How I helped others do the same, grow their businesses to 20K, even 600K a year via the personal branded agency model. And how to build the last asset you'll ever need that will grow with you forever, and why it is important to do it. How to charge 5 to 10K per client and escape the price comparison with other competitors. And how to make cold outreach accessory or even unnecessary. But before you go and try to implement it, you have to understand this. Growth equals the rate of learning times the rate of change. Let me explain. If we break each of these, the rate of learning is the quality, quantity, and speed. So quality is the quality of knowledge, how frequently you're consuming it, and how fast you're learning. Okay? Now the rate of change. The quality is about applying the right behavior change, the right habits. Quantity is about increasing your input volume, is doing more, actually doing more actions. And speed is just doing those actions as fast as possible. So for example, I showed you how to design a personal branded offer. So you should go and apply it as soon as possible, okay? Just after watching this video. That's how fast you have to go. Now, just with what you learned today, you should be able to start building your 24/7 passive sales team that works for you and sells you to your best prospects, okay? So let's say you're at 2 to 10K per month profit with the painful and unreliable process of acquiring clients, and you want to go from that to 50 to 100K per month with a reliable and compounding machine that works for you and without the PTSD, of course. Then you're going to have to bridge the gap with knowledge and execution, okay? Now you have the knowledge. I gave it to you. You need the execution. And I've got a quick bonus for you, okay? We're doing the personal branded agencies incubator calls where we implement it for you, okay? I'm going to personally hop in a call with you and design your 6-month plan, because let's be realistic, this thing takes time, to get to a 50K per month profit with a compounding machine that works for you, that is aligned with your mission, and that will grow with any project you will launch in the future. And of course, our goal is to make sure that it's aligned with what you truly want to do and what you can be the greatest at, because you're not in this game just to make money, you're in this game to be the best. I guess that's why you want to be an entrepreneur, and the money is just a side effect of it. So I will literally help you build the last asset you'll ever need. Even a house wouldn't be as great as such an asset. What we're building here is digital real estate. And unlike real estate, like real estate, the only limit to where we can grow is the internet, not the neighborhood, okay? So if you want me to help you go from dreading every Zoom call, being stuck in 2 hours call, having your energy drained, just like the 5th round of an MMA fight, look at me here, okay? Insta DMs, left on red, nobody wants to talk to you, receive this kind of emails. After having launched a whole outreach campaign with 4 follow-up emails, then hopping on a 2-hour call, solve your prospect problems, actually deliver value, and having to follow up after the call to receive this kind of answer. Or social media profiles that almost look like this. Okay? You don't want this. And no organic traffic at all, which means you need to hunt, and it's hard and painful to get those people interested by what you do because you can't generate traffic. So from this to organic traffic coming and getting educated automatically on your offer, okay? Being able to generate those views, the organic views of people genuinely interested by what you do, because it's a mix of what you truly care about, and people feel it. People can feel when you're truly concerned, truly interested about something. And then you get recognition of your work while you sleep with your assets that run 24/7, okay? I'm not going to read them, all of them, but just pause and read about them. That's some feedbacks I got. And you're going to have the systems to do this consistently and generate sales with people you care about, okay? And being able to generate good amount of money with people you care about, which means longer collaborations, which means you don't need to stress about acquiring clients the next month. So if you want me to help you do this, then click the I want an incubator call button. Now guys, let's be real here. Those calls cost me some time. And so of course it's a sales call, okay? But we don't accept everyone because we know that even a call with us will bring results. And that's not to mention what happens when we actually work together. And I say this with a lot of humility, okay? So to be qualified, you need to know how to deliver a desired outcome to your customers. Agency, freelance, solopreneur, whatever. You know, for example, how to design great visuals, run ads, generate traffic, create short-form content, long-form content, set up podcasts, whatever. You know how to produce a result. And we can only do 5 audits and implementations calls per week. 35% get automatically canceled due to not being qualified, okay? So now here's the thing. What's best for you is usually outside of your comfort zone. You know about it. I don't want to be too much of the mindset guru, which means it's going to be in a zone that has unknowns. And your mind will fight you to stay in this warm, comfortable position forever. It's even worse if it's not painful enough because you won't feel the temperature rising until it's too late. Unless you decide that this current situation is not up your standards. And listen, you've probably thought about starting to push more content and seriously build your personal brand 3 months ago. But here you are now at the same stage. So what will change in 3 months? Are you really going to get more ready than now? I'm just asking. So if you're not ready, just skip this and go back to your work and go back to your life. And I hope you can get value from this. I really hope I respected your time. But I can't guarantee that we'll do this next week or next month. Okay, those implementation calls. So if you're ready to apply all the knowledge you consumed as soon as possible, click on the button, fill out the application and pick a slot that works for you. And hopefully you'll be qualified and the system won't cancel your call. You'll meet with me and we'll design your 6-month plan to get to a 50K per month profit. Thanks for your time and see you soon. Bye-bye.